Welcome to the Becoming SuperHuman Podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Schmidt. I was trained in Western medicine as a physician assistant, where I was exposed to the dark side of medicine. Through self-education and biohacking, I've figured out ways to hack my system, becoming a better version of myself. We'll explore the wisdom and insight of my findings with each episode of the Becoming SuperHuman Podcast. Now, I wasn't exactly a great student. As an athlete, I was probably the quintessential athlete that I really didn't care about studying. I wanted to play sports and be active and explore my physical nature, and less so the mental nature. As I got into college, I realized that they told me that, hey, you can't actually play soccer unless you get good grades. So I changed my mindset, and I decided, you know what, it's time to be a student. Right? If I can only play soccer as if I can get good grades, then I should get good grades. And so that's what I did. I just refocused my efforts, refocused my mind to do something else. Instead of focusing all of my effort on the physical nature, I focused some of my efforts on the studying. And as it turned out, school wasn't that hard. And it made me realize, like, all these years I've been getting crappy grades. They told me I was not that smart. I was a bad student. And as it turned out, all I had to do was redirect my laser beam focus on doing what I wanted to do. And that at the time happened to be school. Well, I had a little bit more success in school, was able to get decent grades, good enough to get to the point where I was going to be applying for graduate school. And at that time in my life, I was really more focused on being my own person. And I had already seen at that point in my life that I didn't really want to work for other people. I didn't really want to be confined to the structures and the I call it the box of this matrix world that we live in. I didn't want to be confined to it. So I had actually started my own business while in college. And I started my own business doing soccer camps. And in soccer camps, I was able to, as a 22-year-old college student, I was able to make some pretty decent money and support myself. And it gave me really, it turned on another switch in my mind that was alternate to this way that we are supposed to live our lives. That you're supposed to go to school, get a good job, get insurance, get a retirement fund. This is what was programmed into me as a youth. My parents would tell me, this is the way we did it, this is the way that you should do it if you want to be successful, right? I kind of saw holes in that plan at a young age. And so when I started this business and doing soccer camps, and we made good money in a short period of time, it opened my eyes to what's possible, and that, maybe I don't have to work for other people. What if there's a different way? Right? But at the time, I lacked confidence in regards to business, and I was at the stage in my life when it was time to be applying for graduate school. So I applied for graduate school to become a physician assistant, get into medicine. I wanted to perform surgery, so that appealed to me. At the time, my parents were pushing me. They were pressuring me to go do what they believed was right. And they told me, the worst case scenario is if you go to school, you don't like it, you can always start your own business. But if you start your own business and things don't work out, then the worst case scenario, you fall back on nothing. The thought was at the time, and this is the way they convinced me to do this, is that if you go to school and you start a business and you fail at the business, you can always fall back on the education. So that was the belief. So I rolled with that, right? I rolled with it. I didn't like it. I rolled with it. So I went to school, did my thing, and I graduated with a degree in medicine and physician assistant.